This is Holly. Sorry we have to do it this way, and I'm pretty tired, so this might be a little rough, but I think I can walk you through it. What I'm going to do is create two videos. One will be a video that shows you how to set up your blog, and the other will show you how to post on your blog. That should be enough to carry you over until I get back. Next week, you're good. So that would be in a couple days. I don't know if that's the first of July, something like that. We won't have class, but I will post an activity on the blog for you to do, and then I'll be back the following week. So you should be able to get started with get your blog set up, get used to posting, get started with assignments if you haven't done that already. So first thing, I'm going to show you how to set up a blog. So the easiest way to do this, you're going to go to edublogs.org here and click on this blue button in the upper right hand corner that says get a free blog. Because I already have a blog, I'm not going to be able to walk you through all of this, but I'll try to make it as apparent as I can. So you click on get a free blog, and then it asks you to fill in some stuff. So username, just like any other electronic system, like an email system or whatever, you need a username that's distinct, that nobody else in the system uses. So just your first initial and your last name may or may not work. What a lot of people do is use their Access BCC. Mine is HPAPIS 11 that has those two numbers after it, that has a better chance of it being distinctive. You may have a username that you typically use. You may throw in your birthday, or you may use some other name. So you'd type in a username, type in a password. You would click on this student here in the middle in the second row. And then it says email is optional, but I'd strongly encourage you to put an email in case you forget a password and need to recover it. You'll need that. And then you click I want a site. I think okay, I'm going to have to switch around a little bit, but the site title down here is the what goes across the top of your blog, the title of the blog. For the course blog here, it's choose your theme. Once you've got a theme picked, you may want to pick a title that matches that theme idea a little bit, but I told students when they set up their blogs that if they want to use something like college writing initially, just to get started, you can always change that later. The site URL here automatically picks up your username and makes that part of the URL. You can change that if you'd like something that doesn't look like your name. Again, it has to be distinctive. Then down here, you'd agree to terms of service. I would not check that you want ed tech news and tips by mail. Click the I'm not a robot, and it will give you sometimes you'll get right through, but a lot of times it gives you a CAPTCHA with those pictures with fire hydrants and different kinds of things, and you have to click on the boxes that have those elements in them to prove that you're not a robot. Once you do all that and click down here, create a site, it's going to bring you to the dashboard of your new blog. So I'm going to go to the course blog and show you what the dashboard looks like. So I am not signed in here. So this is the course blog, bristolchoose.edublogs.org. I'm going to sign in here. Eventually. Okay, and I'll put my username and password here. I like it to remember me. I'm on my own device here. And eventually it'll bring you to the dashboard of the blog. The dashboard is the control panel of the blog, what you see as the owner of the blog, but that other people do not see. This is the dashboard of the course blog, which is got more going on with it. I'm going to show you the dashboard of someone who hasn't gotten very far. Let's see, did Melody get... Okay, so Melody hasn't gotten started yet, but this is what your dashboard will look like. And you can see how I'm navigating up at the top here. College Writing is the name of her blog, and I go down and click on dashboard. So this, what you see right now is the public face of the blog. When you click the dashboard, you get the control panel that's just accessible to you. Okay, so this is what the dashboard looks like. What I'd like to get from you is the URL of the blog once you get it set up. So that's just what I see here at the top. The whatever you put in for the domain of the blog, .edublogs.org. It's really that M. Castillo 113. That part of the address is really the only one I need. So once you get your blog set up, please email that to me. And then what I could do is add your name to the course blog the way I've done for the other students. The next thing, you can notice here she has a link to view class blog. Initially when you set up the blog, it'll say something like join your class, I think. And then if you go across, it'll say join a class. So I'd like you to do that, but we can wait until I get back to worry about that. I am coming back just on Wednesday, the 2nd, I think it is, July 2nd, Wednesday of next week. So we certainly can Zoom next week. Don't want to do it on the 4th of July, but the 3rd or over the weekend to touch up on some of these things that you might still have some issues with. So she joined a class, so we'll worry about the joining a class blog later. All right, so this is the dashboard. The dashboard is where you would go to add a post. So what do I mean by that? So I'm not sure if you had a chance to look over the course blog, but what we've got here, there's some headings across the top here that have drop-down menus. This is information that I'll be assigning to you, some of it over the course of the semester. I don't expect students to have to find this themselves. If I want you to read any of this stuff up on the top here, I'll give you a link down in the assignment. So you've got this. I think of this as the textbook of the course because we're not using a textbook. To find assignments each week, you'll go to the course blog and look for the heading. Now, these are chronological with the most recent stuff at the top. So to see the assignments for the course, you need to go down to week 1, which is the Welcome to Summer, which was the week 1 post, and these are the assignments for week 1. So there for each week, there'll be a checklist that's very brief identification of the activities you need to do, then a list of a line of equal signs, and then below that, you'll see the numbers match. There'll be more information that explains the brief description up at the top, and that gives you the links that you need. These bold green, like paper versus screen, and number 2 is a hyperlink. So I think things are pretty self-evident on the assignments. I've used this blog with online students who don't have too much problem. It depends a little bit what kind of experience you have, online. So if you feel like, if you run into any difficulties, let me know and I can make another video or we can catch up next week. But I would like you to get started with doing some of these assignments. So for week 1, there was a post to do, a comment to do on paper versus screen, and 2 posts for essay. This for week 2. These were the assignments. For week 3, the main thing was doing essay 1, the memoir, and posting that on your blog. And then this is the assignment for these were the assignments for week 4. So I hope you've had a chance to read over some of this and get familiar with the blog. So what I'm going to do you can see, so we've got the posts in the middle, that's where you go for assignments. On the right-hand side, there's contact information for me at the top. If we ever Zoom, look at that about an inch down underneath that pro account. It says for Zoom Room Virtual Office, click here. If you click that word here, it will open up my Zoom Room Office, which is the same link has been for years. So you just need to click that. So we would need to set up a time, of course, and I would open up the Zoom room and then you could come in and I'd let you in. The 4 major essays for the semester, for the summer are here. Don't worry, we'll talk about that master list later. And then the blog roll is a list of student blogs for the summer. So once you email me your blog address, what I'll be doing is adding your name to this list, and actually you'll be down at the bottom alphabetically. So that's the first thing, to get the blog set up and to get you added onto the course blog so that I can see or access your work and respond to it. Okay, so I'm going to stop this now, and then I'll start another video in a minute that shows you how to post once you have an assignment written.